Welcome back to episode 4 of my Soup of the Week series, where every Thursday night at 7 PM UK time I bring a brand new soup recipe just for you. This week we're making French onion soup, and this is how you do it. So for this recipe you need for this recipe you need 1 kilo of brown onions. Now we're going to remove the top and the tail, and then we're going to cut them in half, remove the skin and thinly slice them. So take your onion, cut off the top and the root, lay it flat and cut in half, and that makes it easier to remove the skin. Once the skins are removed, lay it flat side down, and you want to cut it with the cross section pointing forward. So you go around and you end up with lovely little half moon shaped slices. Just like this. So carry on slicing until you get 2/3 of the way through. Lay it flat again and finish off your slicing. So one more time, slice, 2/3, lay flat and finish it off. Now place a heavy pan over medium heat. Add into the pan 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 30 grams of butter. Once the butter is melted, add in all of those sliced onions. Now add into the pan a big pinch of salt. Now this is quite important because the salt helps to draw out the moisture out of the onions, which helps them caramelize. Now we're going to sweat down these onions until they go a deep dark mahogany colour. Now that is the caramelization and the natural sugars that are coming out of it, which is key to the flavour of this soup. You want to keep them moving, and every couple of minutes just keep coming back and give it another little stir. Okay, so that's about the stage that we want to take it to. You can see it's a nice dark colour. You probably could take it a bit further, but I'm getting a little bit impatient now and I want to get making the rest of the soup. Now, this has taken roughly around 30 to 40 minutes actually to reach this stage. You know, you've got to be very patient to make this, but you've got to trust me here, it's truly worth it for that flavour that it builds by caramelising the onions like this. It's not where all of the flavour happens, of course, because now we're going to add in a whole new layer of flavours right now. We're going to crush in 2 cloves of garlic, add in 8 to 10 sprigs of thyme. I've tied them together with a little bit of string there because that just makes it easier to take the stalks out later when we are ready to serve. So they'll go straight in as well. And then we're going to go in with 250 ml of dry white wine. That's going to help deglaze the pan and get all of that beautiful caramelised onion from the bottom as well to add into there. So at this stage we turn the heat up just a little bit, so we're on about medium high. We'll reduce that wine down by half the amount. So now that wine is reduced down by half, we're going to go in with 1.5 litres of beef stock. Give that a little stir, and then we just want to bring that back up to a simmer, and then we'll let that tick over for about 10 to 15 minutes while we make the beautiful cheesy croutons that are going to go on the top. Okay, for the cheesy croutons, I've got a couple of kind of baguettes that I baked earlier on, but you pick up whatever bread you like from the shop, and then I'm going to cut this into slices and then brush it with a little bit of olive oil and then roast it in the oven. So I've preheated the oven to 210 degrees C. I'm now going to slice up these baguettes. You know, slice them nice and chunky, good inch thick. You know, you don't want to skimp on this. Okay, so next take all your slices of bread and we're just going to spread them out on a baking tray. Brush the bits of bread with a little bit of olive oil on each side, so we'll go around, brush all of them, flip them over and brush them again. Now place these into the hot oven for 5 to 10 minutes until they go golden and crisp. You want them so they're toasted enough that they're robust and they can sit in that soup without going soggy and falling apart. Beautiful. Now, as always, one of the last things to do is to taste it, to check the seasoning. And if you need to, adjust it with a little bit of salt and pepper. To serve, take a couple of oven-proof dishes. Remember to remove the bunch of thyme, and then ladle your onion soup into the dishes. And don't be shy, fill them right up. And take a couple of your nice crunchy croutons and pile them up with Gruyere cheese or any melting cheese of your choice. We're now going to put these under a hot grill until the cheese is melted. Of course, don't worry if you don't have an oven-proof dish. You can always just take your croutons on a tray, fill them up with cheese, and then place that under the grill or in the oven until they melt, and simply serve them on top of your soup. So there it is, guys, that's how I make my beautiful French onion soup. It's actually really rich in flavour, it's so warming, delicious, quite complex in some of the skills that you need to use to make it, and also in the flavours that are involved in there. It's not the quickest soup I've ever made, but it's definitely worth the time and effort put in to make such a tasty dish. So I hope you try it out for yourselves at home. Now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to check out an awesome creamy garlic and mushroom soup, then check out this video up here. You can see it's a nice dark colour. You probably could take it a bit further, but I'm getting a little bit impatient now and I want to get making the rest of the soup.